Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Tomb Raider Underworld walkthrough. It's time to try and find our way out of this, well, hell hole, because it's literally sort of hell, because it's Niflheim, we're in the Underworld, and yeah, that was just a bit of a naff ramble of an opening, but oh well! So seeing as we kind of got trapped in here, we aren't able to get out the way that we came in, so we're going to have to do a little bit of manoeuvring to escape. And really, this entire sequence will prove to you that really Tomb Raider Underworld dramatically shifted the focus away from combat, because, or at least, well, I say that and then I realise what's going to happen in the second half of this video once we've escaped. But like in the first game, pretty much in the first level, you had to kill quite a few people, and then when you think about the reboot, Lara becomes a mass murderer in that. It's really unnerving. Like, even more unnerving than mass murdering Lara here. Because, well, also mass murdering and animal abuser, because she obviously kills sharks that could potentially be endangered. She doesn't really care for this pottery that could be worth loads of money. And we're going to see her return to her old ways of killing tigers and all that jazz. But something that really niggles me with the reboot, this is going to happen a lot in this particular walkthrough because it was the last game before they rebooted the series, and it just frustrates me because it seemed like they had something going here, and then they kind of wasted it. So in this game, when Lara kind of kills people, she's generally quite cold about it, I guess is the way to describe it. Well, that kind of does make her an incredibly unsympathetic and ever so slightly bland character at times. It feels a lot easier to accept than what happens to Lara of the reboot. Because in that, obviously there's the first kill where she's very traumatised by it, and then obviously that she then goes on to kill many people. But not only that, after a certain point, I can't quite remember where it is in the game, but basically the stuff that she comes out with whilst facing down her enemies is just really ugh. Because she's like, I'm going to kill all of you bastards, and so on and so forth, and it's just like, whoa, Lara, be a little bit more ladylike. I know that you're in a very dangerous situation, and if you don't kill these guys, they're going to kill you. But it just makes it an incredibly uncomfortable experience. Whereas here, because Lara is sort of certified badass of all time type deal, and she's very kind of stoic in her murdering Largely because, yes, she will only attack those who, well, will seek to harm her. But she kind of has no qualms about it. She just kind of, she's gotten over that hurdle, and really, she doesn't mock her opponents. It's just like, okay, this needs to be done. And it gets done. And I'd say this isn't really making me seem like a very well-adjusted person. The fact that I find this easier to deal with than the Lara of the reboot, but I don't know. I mean, I don't think I'm alone in being incredibly uncomfortable with the changes they made. But then I totally get why they did need to do something to Lara, because she is a bit of an unsympathetic character. Also, what we just got there was a relic. And what the relics do is they increase your overall health. So if you want to, you know, not die as quickly, that's your ticket to getting them. So, good luck finding them, because they are arguably, well, they are the most difficult things to get in the game. And generally, they do tend to be like in the last area of each level. But they are okay to get most of the time. There's just a couple that are really evil. And now I believe at this point we have worked our way around to a recognisable part of Niflheim. And at this point it is basically just a case of go back the way you came. Which, the whole backtracking element is a little bit sucky, but sometimes it is quite a fun challenge trying to go backwards through things, and it's a technique that they will use, well, not a technique, a tactic, more so, that they will use later on to cause you some absolute horrible grief. Some of it's mean. Now I think I am going to get a little bit lost here, because I know I'm meant to go through a tunnel, but I can't quite remember where said tunnel is, or how to get to it. Thankfully at this point in the game, Lara has a snorkel on. So, basically, you don't have to worry about breath. Although that is something that you will have to worry about come later levels. Because Lara only brings this magical eternal snorkel mask with her when she's going to places that are entirely composed of water, and then she may exit water at some point on her journey. But anyway, now we just have a lovely swim all the way back to the boat, because we need to chase after that mercenary who was an absolute sod. Like, really, seriously, quite a sod. And I will quickly point out that the mercenary is voiced by Greg Ellis, who is also the voice of Alistair, who is the guy with the glasses in this game. and he has been in a variety of things. So he's Dr. Morocco in Transformers Rescue Bots, Cullen in Dragon Age Inquisition, he is Trevor Wilcox in Touch, Agent Spencer in Days of Our Lives, Randall in Fishhooks, Brother Egan in Kingdoms of Amelia Reckoning, various other roles. He's also Groves in Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides, and I think he may perform that role in other Pirates of the Caribbean things. He has generally been in a lot of things. But here we are on Amanda Everett's ship. Now, I'm being a bit of an idiot here, because I'm looking for a health pack. But this health pack was very, very obviously just in front of me, and I was completely blind and missed it. Don't worry, I will locate it though, and yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of fighting here. So, get prepared to be shooting a lot. This is easily your first kind of combat challenge, but it's one of very, very, very few that take place throughout the game. Now, Amanda Everett obviously originally appeared in Tomb Raider Legend, where she was voiced by Kath Soucie, and she still is. That was the blooming health pack I was searching for. And we will see Amanda a little bit later on in this very level, actually. So, Kath Soucie, you'll recognise her voice. She's been in a hell of a lot. You'd most likely recognise her as Phil and Lil DeVille and their mum in The Rugrats. She's also Janine Melnitz in The Real Ghostbusters, Ingrid Kruger in Gem, Cindy Bear in the Hanna-Barbera shows Wake, Rattle and Roll, and Yo Yogi. She's Fifi Lafoum in Tiny Toon Adventures, Linka in Captain Planet and the Planeteers. She's also Bimbette in Beauty and the Beast. She voiced Kanga for quite a while, actually. So she was in the Tigger movie, Piglet's Big Movie, Who's Heffalump movie, and so on and so forth. And various other things as well. She's been in so much, but I'd say The Rugrats is probably the most recognisable role that you would have seen her in. Now, I'm being very overly cautious on this, because I want to make sure that I get everybody so that they don't come out and accidentally kill me. Because that would be bad. And also, I think I may be looking for health packs and so on, but either way. Now, at this point you have two options of which route you take. There are enemies on both sides, and they will attack you no matter which way you come around, so it is probably for the best that you try and kill both sides off quickly. The grenades are very helpful, although I have to say I hardly ever use them. I am much more a fan of just using the guns, because I have a little bit more control over what's happening. But having said that, the grenades can be incredibly helpful. I should just use them a little bit more. Now, if you want another Swan Diver achievement, Swan Dive off of that life jacket box thing. It's a really odd place to have it, but that is where it is. Like, it's really odd. I have absolutely no idea why they thought that would be a good idea for a location for a Swan Diver achievement. But apparently it is one of the highest locations in the game, which is slightly terrifying when you think about it. So technically, if you've been following along at this point, you will have 2 of the Swan Diver achievements, and there is only 1 left, which is pretty much at the start of the next level, so you can get the Swan Diver achievements really quickly. You just have to make sure that you actually swan dive off the edge, which you do by jumping and then pressing B immediately afterwards. It's not quite as cool as the automatic swan dive that you could do in, I think it was Tomb Raider Legend. May have also been in Tomb Raider Anniversary, but I can't quite remember. Now, having gotten through these corridors now, this is arguably where it starts to get really complicated. Well, not complicated, but rather difficult. Because you're going to be thrown in... Well, a lot of enemies are going to be thrown at you at once. And these guys will constantly attack you, and while Lara can take a reasonable amount of hits, she is not the most sturdy of characters. And there is a wonderful little technique that you can use to basically kill enemies a hell of a lot quicker, and that is the adrenaline headshot, which I will begin to use eventually. I just kind of completely forgot how to do it at this point. Because it's been a hell of a long time since I played through Tomb Raider Underworld. Because, well, at least it's been a good few years since I did this. Because it's a really interesting story of how and when I got Tomb Raider Underworld. Because when I wanted to get an Xbox 360, it was basically, I wanted to get it for Sonic Unleashed. But essentially, when I wanted to get it, the only way of getting it at a reasonable price was getting it in a bundle. And in that in the eventual bundle that I got, there was Lego Indiana Jones and Kung Fu Panda and Tomb Raider Underworld. Because, I mean, I asked my dad kind of for his advice, because, like, the other bundle options were games that I'm really not interested in. It was, I think, there may have been FIFA there may have been a Call of Duty, and it was just like, no. And so I ended up getting Tomb Raider Underworld because, well, my dad liked Tomb Raider, not that he played many of them for quite a while. But, yeah, so that's why I got it, and I never really touched it, because I'd only really gotten it from my dad. And he never really played it either, because I kept my 360 in my room. so he could never really play it. Which is not good on my part, but oh well. And then eventually, I don't know what it was, but I think I just reached the point where I was just like, I've had this game for so long now, and I've just never touched it. I kind of want to see what Tomb Raider is all about. And then I played it, and I really enjoyed it. And so that's basically converted me to Tomb Raider. And it's also the reason why I then actively sought out Tomb Raider Legend and Tomb Raider Anniversary, because I desperately wanted to do a walkthrough of this game, and I've wanted to do a walkthrough of this game really much since the day I started doing walkthroughs and playthroughs. And you can see that by the fact that it turns up in like one of my really early channel intros. And it's... yeah, I've always wanted to do it, but I wanted to cover Tomb Raider Legend and Tomb Raider Anniversary first, because they are the first games in the trilogy. And I didn't really want to just start on the last game, because there is a lot of plot that happens. Not that I knew it when I first played the game, I just kind of picked it up and played and it was all fine. But having that kind of the basis of the first two games in the Physical Dynamics trilogy really does help solidify what's going on and makes things make sense, really. Because otherwise you're just like, who is this person? What? Like, who is this character? Who is that character? And you don't get the importance of who they are and their relationship to Lara. And he was an idiot. And I have to say, I really, really loved Lara's expression there. I have to say, like, the animation quality in this game is phenomenal. And I would actually say that the cutscene animation is far superior to the Tomb Raider reboot cutscene animation, which is ridiculous that that's the case.
Specimen jar offers little in the way of amusement, so I've grown fond of watching Amanda suffer the effects of sharing your interests.
Jacqueline Nathan, you just don't know when to die.
A trait we have in common.
It was you who told Amanda about Avalon.
Our time is short, so choose your questions carefully.
What do you know about my mother?
The Deus you and she found in Nepal, it's part of a travel network, so to speak. It took your mother to Avalon.
My father thought Avalon was below, but that's Niflheim. What's the Norse connection?
Ah, Richard found the wrong Norse underworld. Your mother didn't go to Niflheim. She went to Helheim.
Where is it?
I will tell you where it is, one day. But when that day comes, you'll need Thor's hammer to get inside. Perhaps you'll have better luck finding it than your father did.
What do you mean?
Your answer is on the west coast of Thailand. 7th parallel.
So yes, Jacqueline Natler did not die at the end of Tomb Raider Anniversary. And now the boat's exploding and we need to get the hell out of here. in what is actually a rather exciting sequence. And it's going to be our first instance of a adrenaline moment in this game. And that's right there. Obviously you could have seen one earlier than this, but I decided to skip it because I wanted an artifact. So yeah, I do really appreciate that Tomb Raider Underworld decided, well, they decided for Tomb Raider Underworld to pull together the plot of Legend and Anniversary and kind of bring it to a conclusion, because you had the whole Amanda Everett saga in Legends and you had the whole Jacqueline Natler saga in Anniversary, and by making them both your antagonists, it's quite fun, actually. Not that you're going to see too much of them. Most of the time is going to be spent raiding tombs, which is exactly what Tomb Raider should really be doing. But I believe that once we have crossed this balance beam, we should be very close to escaping. And then it will be time to head to Thailand, which is going to be very fun, I suspect.